Hello again, a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Deni Kay and I'm here today with my Christmas dram, or should I say Christmas drams. So my Christmas Eve drams, normally what will happen is I will have a bottle in front of me and that will quite simply be the bottle that I have purchased, and I'll sit down to review it. What I have done here is I had an 18-year-old version of this dram. A friend of mine recommended to me the 25-year-old dram, so they have very kindly given me a sample of the 25-year-old dram, and I thought, being Christmas, the Christmas spirit, what better time to actually sit down and compare and review a sample that I was gifted of a 25-year-old versus an 18-year-old. So this is what I'm doing, and I guess you could say these are my Christmas Eve drams. So before I get stuck in, please do hit the like button and also the subscribe button. That way you can keep up to date with any videos I am obviously doing in the future. So what I have in front of me is an Islay distillery. It is the only distillery in Islay that produces an unpeated malt. So I've probably already given it away. If you don't know what it is Bunnahabhain. So yes, it is a V, not a B, that second B in the name. Now, founded in 1881, did close down about 100 years later in 1981, then reopened a few years later as demand really started to ramp back up again. And what you'll find with their official range is quite a bit of sherry influence there, which for me, I quite enjoy. So, on my right, I have the 18-year-old, which I cracked a bottle of, and I think it is a really great dram. I have the 25 on my left. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go side by side. I'd like to be able to go through them. I'm going to try and keep this short and sharp, right? Because I know obviously everyone's sitting down Christmas Eve, so depending on when you get to sit down and watch this, obviously I appreciate the time that you take to sit down and watch it, but you probably have quite a bit on your plate because it is a crazy time of year. But I'd like to be able to go through, give you a little bit of, I guess you could say, my thoughts on them both, and then tell you which one I think is better, because there is a little bit of a price gap, essentially double the price. So let's start with the 18-year-old. Now, the nose on the 18-year-old is really I guess you could say, a bit of a sweeter nose, because there are definitely some dried sweet fruits there. Predominantly some raisins there, also some prunes. There is absolutely some caramel fudge, a little bit of spice on there as well. There is a very faint touch of like a salty pretzel, a salted pretzel on the nose as well. Now, it is unpeated, but there is an underlying, it's not peat, it's almost like a struck match or something along those lines that you get on the nose here. And the more time you really give it in the glass, both bottled at 46.3%, which, if you're familiar with anything from Distell, right, Tobermory, Deanston, you'll know 46.3% for their official range. Obviously not indie bottled stuff, because that's going to be bottled at whatever the bottler wants to bottle it at. But those one gets a little bit sweeter. So what I'm also starting to get now as well is some cherries as well, which I'm really enjoying, and a little bit of orange and chocolate. Really lovely. I mentioned that struck match on the nose. You almost get a little bit of that, a little bit of sulfur, maybe even a touch, which I don't really mind anyway, but that spice comes through on the arrival. Then some of the chocolate, yes, orange marmalade, absolutely. Toffee just continues to linger through. Salted pretzel, 100%, which I absolutely love. That comes through on the palate as well. Lingering, little bit of spice, sweetness, medium length, but the mouthful is really rich, is really lovely. Also, some of that orange continues to come through as well. Very solid dram. Absolutely solid 8 out of 10 score. Because I think the price is still not bad. It's maybe starting to creep up over the last couple of years, but still 8 out of 10. Very solid. Great Christmas dram. Christmas dram. Because as I said, it is really rich and jammy. And Those sherry notes are really lovely, I guess, for this time of year anyway. If you're into that kind of whiskey, which I absolutely am, 25-year-old here. Now, initially on the nose, sweeter, because I'm getting some dried apricots along with still some raisins, Christmas cake. You're still getting almost like that struck match type of influence on the nose here as well. There's still a touch of saltiness that comes through. Yes, absolutely, really fudgy on the nose. Really great start for this one. Now, not as much spice as the 18-year-old. A little bit of vanilla, but really fudgy, thick, dried apricots, some oranges. Yes, absolutely. Still that touch of salt that keeps on coming through, which you'll find in the Bunnahabhain OB range. It is sweeter than the 18-year-old. For me, I've probably given them about 10 minutes in the glass. Really lovely Christmas dram. So I will say thanks to my friend Gilly for giving me the sample of this, because it is an absolute cracking dram. Now, as that lingers on, some orange marmalade that comes through, lingering. I would actually score them both an 8 out of 10. Now, given that the price difference here is quite, as I said, double the price, really up to you with whether you want to spend that or not. If you were to ask me if it was worth the price and paying more, I would probably say no. I would actually probably just say that you'd rather just grab 2 bottles of the 18-year-old, because I think that it is really, really great. The more time you give this with a drop of water, I also know that some of the spice really does start to die down as well. And for those that have seen some of my videos before, you'll know that I don't mind a little bit of spice in my whiskey, but I will add a little bit of water just to try and, I guess you could say, dilute the spiciness out of some whiskies if I think that maybe it's a little bit too much. And for me, that really helps, because then what will normally happen is I'll be able to pick up some more of the fruits and some more of the sweeter notes perhaps that are in some of these whiskies. So, as I said, Bunnahabhain, 18-year-old, 8 out of 10, really lovely nose. Is it worth buying a bottle? Yes, absolutely. The chocolate notes in that, absolutely lovely. 25-year-old Bunnahabhain, one that I haven't had for quite some time. Really lovely presentation box. This comes in a tube as a presentation box. This one here comes in a box. You'll see the XXV, the 25-year-old on there. As I mentioned though, it is double the price. So, if you do have a little bit of extra money that you want to spend, and you want to treat yourself maybe a bit of a different experience, if you've already had the 12, the 18 you want to work up, then yes, you could absolutely go for the 25. Is it worthwhile? I personally would say go for the 18 or an extra bottle of the 18 for the price. That is my conclusion or my summary on these. Both an 8 out of 10, worth the money, yes. Worth the money if you have it, otherwise no. Stick with the 18. My Christmas Eve dram. I'm going to sit down now. I'm going to really just be able to, I guess you could say, chill out, enjoy the rest of my drams, maybe leave the dram out for Santa Claus as well, and wake up tomorrow morning, have a lovely day with the family. I hope that you all do the same thing as well. So, cheers to you. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. And I will absolutely see you next time. Bye for now.